He's got the contract with the IDF to be doing their data and analysis.
Right.
It's Israeli Defense Fund on all their intelligence. He's got the highest security clearance his company has in the U.S. government. He's got all of our employment data because all the companies, big companies, use PeopleSoft.
Hello and welcome to a stadium that always produces a lively atmosphere. We're at the Estadio do Benfica in Lisbon. I'm Derek Ray in the commentary position, and I'm joined for expert analysis by my partner Stuart Robson. And we have action from foot rivals coming up for you. What might we see today?
Well, as is always the case, both teams will look to control the centre of the pitch. Whichever can do that will dominate possession and probably the game. This is going to be key, I think, today.
So what we're looking at is AI being used, yes, and what you're saying.
And this is how the hosts will begin the game today. Alisson begins in goal. Achraf Hakimi plays with Nuno Mendes in the fullback positions. And in this tactical setup, they have just the one player in attack. That is a very bright start. Perfect way to open it. And the ball moving again. What sort of response will we see from them now?
Media and talking is most likely to sow discontent in the population. And there's just a couple of attacks on its head, right? You don't need to wear. You don't have to make a martyr.
Well, that was an opportunity to make the scoreboard look even better from their point of view.
Oh, big chance, missed that. This game is...
Yeah, right, but incredible stuff.
Really, you know what I mean? It's like, they don't even need to do the time slots. All they need to do is turn a little dial on your reach. I know.
Kylian Mbappe.
So, like with the shot,
Vitor Ferreira.
they just turn the algorithms. You know,
Giving the ball away.
This is how lots of people are.
Oh, that's a clever ball.
So it's not just like they're censoring or
This is breathtaking to watch.
Not only are they burning the books, they're doing it and making it invisible.
This is looking rather comfortable for them. 3-0. Mendes.
This one reached 200,000.
On the ball, Kaká.
This one's really
no point in stopping play. Advantage with them.
Right? And they'll have reasons. You know, other reasons. They'll say, oh, because, you know, that one was 7.3 seconds longer than the optimized.
A really smart piece of defending to stop them. Well, the pressure was on, but the keeper stepped up to deal with it. Can he find the right pass?
Big, ambiguous.
And the flag does go up offside.
But, you know, they're not really, like, you know, listing that there's no court. And now, and we think that we're winning or losing the war based on
Mbappe in the centre. A corner will ensue.
It's not an end. It's a fucking Palantir. It's a Palantir game. It could go into the stable.
Stunning piece of defending.
That was a really dangerous situation.
No, but the funny thing is, we think it's like we're competing like against each other in terms of content.
A goal! Well, I tell you what, on this sort of form, very few would lay a glove on them.
You're absorbing exactly the action. It's how good it's part of your.
It's a good-looking ball.
We used to have to show them.
And the chance slips away.
Documentary footage.
Now what can they do from here? And he's made headway. And you cannot argue with a hat-trick. Simply unstoppable today.
Here's how Chris struggles for a while. See how strong his eyes are.
Kylian Mbappe.
I just stop.
Good-looking move.
Cell realizes.
Oh, might be.
I am now.
And what a magical save it was.
Cheetah. That's what I am now. More cheetah.
Short corner favoured.
Stop.
And cut out nicely. Good job she made the turnover there.
The person getting bit under the like there's this moment of scary to say. I'm sure this is what like masochists or sadists or something.
Well, they get the ball once more.
Minutes of bliss in the surrender. So it's like I'm seeing that because of the end.
Beneath an avalanche of goals. No let up here.
is part of really, but
Well, it's an out-and-out pasting.
I mean,
6-0.
I do it's a pace.
Oh, managing to beat him. And covering
There
from
is that
opportunity.
awful
And a
talent.
goal this time.
Everything.
Applying the finishing
It's
touch. Just what the doctor ordered.
into other things like that. It's the way it is. And
Hakimi.
I feel like the typical mentality
Now
we're
with
talking
Ned.
about, they're at the one hand,
Well, that
they're
one has
resistant.
promise.
They don't want to be part
There's
of
good
that. They
defending
don't
by
want to be
Cafu.
in the swirl. And on the other hand,
Now,
they're
who
using
can he
it as
play
an
it to?
excuse to be sadists. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay for all
Oh,
these
big
thousands of
chance.
kids in Bukavu to be going into
Oh,
mines and
excellent work
as
there
slaves
to
to
thwart
build
a
the
promising attack.
chips for my AI that I'm going to use to
Who can he pick out?
solve the world problems and make $1 trillion and get off the planet.
Totally. Yeah.
Now counter-attacking
That's
possibilities.
a crazy thing. I think that
Oh, surely! Worked it brilliantly.
I think that
Tremendous challenge.
I think it's a trip. I think it's like a DMT trip.
Like something gets released in a rain.
Yeah, like a breakable
Will it
glass
go
house
in?
in France.
And he's kept it out. Fully stretched. Somehow reaching it.
Right. But that dimension, in other words, that you're
And
tripping.
he's fired over the
I like
corner.
what you say you're tripping. It's not like it's worth it. It's not like you just shut down your nervous system.
Right.
That you trip. So you return to, you get to see the way
Karim
things are.
Adeyemi.
In other words,
Can
so
they be
when you're in
creative
this
from here?
dimension here, trying to like, okay, we gotta have to, we gotta keep this life alive, we gotta do this stuff, we gotta go through DNA. And it's like, okay, guys.
Well, the header
Here's how
not
things
troubling
go.
the goalkeeper.
Well, I have to say,
You're
the
looking at
defender has
everything,
done
it's all
just
good, it's
enough
all
there
part
to
of
put
the
it
story.
off.
Yeah. Because and it's like the DMT thing. Like when you DMT feels
Could be
like
troublesome.
death. It feels like you're actually fine. Right.
Real
Like
chance.
you're disconnected from
A
everything
goal!
material.
We're really being spoiled. This is attacking football at its finest. So underway again here, and it's going to take a colossal effort if they have the signs on bouncing back.
Is its own material. It's like something that you can't really touch. It's not handled. It's part of it.
Yeah.
I think that.
Well, he has options available, but nothing comes of it. Good defending it was. Now breaking at pace, potential danger.
He doesn't understand what customers yet.
Well, it could be on for him here. Oh, yes! It's gone in! And now a chance for them to revel in the moment. And the electronic board showing 1 additional minute. Gonzalo Guedes. Now what can they do from here? And with that, the first half draws to a close.
Yeah. For some reason, my Twitter algorithm and my Instagram algorithm do all this crazy stuff. Very weird.
Yeah, I've been
so much
off that.
death on the internet lately.
Yeah, I've been off social media, and it's a little hypocritical because I create content for social media. I used to just do my podcast, just as an audio podcast, download it. Everything was organic, no Gary Vaynerchuk, Michael content, anything. And now what I'm doing is I got sponsored for, I've just done, and I moved it to video.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube too, because all the kids watch it. YouTube. They'll start watching it, and the behavior is they open another tab and then they listen to it in the background.
Yes.
But if you've got to be on the YouTube, because who wants to sit and just watch
So
video
the
for that
second
long?
half begins.
But
Who
then
will
when you're-
steal the
but,
show?
I make micro content on Instagram, 2 Reels and all. But
Yep.
I'm not
Nuno
making
Mendes.
micro content to get
Now
that.
Kaká. Mendes.
I feel like I'm making the podcast
Kaká.
in order to be able to create micro content. to
regaining
reach other
control
people.
of
I'm
the
thinking
ball.
of it in
They're
terms
much harder to
of
break down in
what's the
those areas, aren't
transformation?
they?
How do I get, sort of, it's
Bruno
of-
Guimaraes.
of smartness. How do I create those sparks of intelligence?
Larson. Oh, it's a
And so the
terrific challenge.
podcast is kind of funding social.
Could
It's
be
not the
dangerous.
social as feeder content.
Can he? And that's a decent bit of goalkeeping.
Watch a good team. I'm going to listen to the 2-hour version of that.
And there's the delivery.
Yeah, but I like using that.
Counter-attacking possibilities.
Yeah, totally. Did you recently stop using
Can they
social
profit
media
from this?
as like a entertainment tool?
Inexplicably it fizzled out.
It was when Facebook started a policy of where they could use your posts as advertising.
Yeah.
It was one of the things that they tried. I was just like, oh, this shit, I'm sick of it. You know, and I played on Twitter when Evan Williams started Twitter, the very early Twitter. I was on that 140 character thing, using it to send links to things, and it was interesting.
Now with Hakimi.
And I played around in there, but I got sick of it before. Once the algorithm was tweaked,
and it crossed the touchline, so a throw in here.
I felt
what to like about that pass.
But I didn't feel good physically after I used it.
Well, a touch too heavy there.
Well, that's a good turnover, isn't it?
I wanted less screen time.
Henrik Larsson. Now the quick counter-attack could be on. And a disappointing end to that.
Yeah. They literally feel like a physiological.
Yeah.
They feel healthy. They feel
I'll tell you, I did. I've been bogged down.
Who can he play it to?
I do too much work.
Well, it came to nothing in the end.
My first vacation. I went on vacation in 1999.
He's in with a chance.
Yeah, when the planes were supposed to all that stuff. So, and I was like a finger arts person, and suddenly I don't have a job, so I need a vacation. But I didn't really that much Costa Rica. It's crazy. You gotta get some things.
Adeyemi.
International school.
The through ball. Using space on the opposite flank now. Oh, surely! And a goal this time! Applying the finishing touch. Just what the doctor ordered. And David Raya has it now. Deciding to give it to the keeper. Moreno. Sosa with it.
Well, the closing down has been really poor. They're just not working as a team at the moment, and don't these fans know it?
There's I believe retro causality coming from you can feel events from the future rippling back in time. This is real. This is the way that real things. That's why you see birds fly before the storm and the shit. It's not all physics. A lot of it's this thing that we're in. This thing, and
that's how our brains evolve.
Yeah.
Disappointing pass.
Well, not what he was looking for there.
Our nethers. And these devices, these things, these systems it's almost as if they've been designed to distract us.
Well, for me, he always looked likely to win that battle. He's just so confident in those situations.
Older man, so we submit to the will of the system. We discover it's like, I can tell you, I'm like, no. It's like, it's luscious, you know?
Yeah, no, I like for what you're saying, like that. There's something baked into us that's probably evolved for.
Now we're inside the final 15 minutes.
Is captives into nature. I mean, that's because we become sort of unlike any other species on Earth that sort of like lives in this symbiosis with nature, right? We're sort of like we become the one species that doesn't really fit, right? Like you don't really add anything back. You give back right to nature at all. Like every other animal brain does. But we sort of like exist outside of that.
Right. We're out. Right.
Putting him under real pressure.
Like most or all other animals are kind of part of some symbiotic
outrageously skillful.
That's what excites fans. Individual brilliance.
Linear.
Right. Exactly.
You know, where it has externalities and waste, or at least the illusion of one, and progress to some future. Forever chemicals. Right. Yeah, exactly. Mice don't make forever chemicals. IP.
Yeah.
So what is that one-way thing that we're on?
And when you go into the woods and stuff, and I don't know multiple explain this to you, like when you go into the woods, whether it be, like the redwoods or the Amazon rainforest,
and back to the keeper.
From the grid, and you're in this like almost like another universe when you're in the world, right?
And the pass not quite accurate enough. And a throw in then.
It's like these buried senses start bubbling up to the surface. Where now, like, the sound of the branches and the birds and the footsteps and the insects.
He'll be breathing a sigh of relief.
Sort of like
Ball one. And rewarded for that high press.
You used to be able to understand. Now it's kind of like bubbling back up. But you can, without tripping,
good-looking move.
You can trade.
Oh, the keeper made it look routine. It was anything but.
It's a living thing with a kind of
delivering it.
A presence. It's there, you know.
Well, they might be able to launch a counter-attack. Well, unfortunately, it fizzled out in the end. Well, the stoppage time situation. 1 minute here. Oh, he's lost possession of the ball. Super stop. The pressure was high, and they could be in here. Oh, a sensational save!
Well, what a piece of goalkeeping that was. He's moved so quickly to make that save. Absolutely brilliant.
And so the final whistle here. The visitors come out on top, Stuart.
Well, outplayed, outpassed, and at times overrun, but they rode their luck and scored when it mattered. It's a great result for them.
It did develop in other ways. There are, you know, there's a big Gurdjieff civilization, right? So all these civilizations, I think it's just this one time. You know, sort of, you know, Israel and Greece to Europe, us. It's like, no, there's a ton of others that have risen and fallen throughout history. Some of them, you know, like
I don't know that.
Yeah, a lot of them.
For written language,
right.
For recorded history. I had a psychologist on maybe a couple months ago, who was explaining to me her take on like written language. How she was explaining how like the story of Adam and Eve in the garden eating the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge was like a deviation from inherent knowledge to trusting in the written word. And she was explaining how the written word, you know, we get everything that we've got going back to recorded history has been, we rely largely on writing and text and stuff like that. Obviously, we use things like
hello and welcome to a stadium that always produces a lively atmosphere. We're at the Estadio do Benfica in Lisbon. I'm Derek Ray, and sharing commentary with me, as usual, is Stuart Robson. And what we have coming up for you is a live division rivals contest. Your expectations?
Well, as is always the case, both teams will look to control the centre of the pitch. Whichever can do that will dominate possession and probably the game. This is going to be key, I think, today.
Marcel Desailly. And the line-up for the home side. Alisson gets the nod in goal. Nuno Mendes plays with Achraf Hakimi in the full-back positions. And the idea is to have just the one striker up there trying to pose problems for the opposition. Mbappe! A truly magnificent start. An early goal in the game. Just what they were hoping to produce. Moving the ball forward, how creative can they be? But they took care of the situation defensively.
This happened, this happened, and then Scott Thomas Abraham, all of your future generations, using this, I mean, you know, for your kid, this whenever.
And possibilities here.
Then I will reward you in the future.
Great challenge, he got nothing but ball. Plenty of support here.
So we ended up in this society that value the past as its origin story, the oldest land, this is our thing, we deserve this, and we have our inevitable.
Smart defending.
Our Messiah is going to come and save the day and do all this. We get the linear story.
Dreyer.
He needs that.
And the ball with Gerrard. Gerrard! And doing well to keep that one out.
It's an end game, the alpha to the omega. You know, we're
trying to pick out a teammate. The most confident clearance. Promising passage, but came to nothing.
right.
Maybe dangerous here.
Yeah, and then
That is a very fine challenge in difficult circumstances. And playing it through.
Until like this
Neves.
biblical canon came about, until Nicaea, to who this book and this was the
Decent looking pass. An effective ball win. Good through ball.
All the other gods, you're a pagan.
And they'll get ready for the throw in.
Yeah. In some ways, the pagan gods.
Well read to win possession back.
Yeah, I was watching
Steven Gerrard! And that wasn't a million miles away. Almost the equaliser.
Well, it's not a bad effort, is it? But they've got to find a way back into this one.
But they had like Odin. Is there
Clean
one?
challenge.
Odin, Thor,
This could be the equaliser. But oh, what an important save! How about that?
Well, at least he hit the target, but he should really beat the keeper from there. They should be level now.
And get refined by sort of successive, TV shows, comics, popular culture things.
Karim
They
Adeyemi.
got to live in a way that, the kind of Jesus and a God.
And unable to keep possession.
Well, he's done so well to read the pass. Clever bit of play.
To iterate with culture. So, I've gotten to like Matt Larson, Alan Moore, those guys who are sort of
Kylian Mbappe. Threaded through by Mbappe. And that is offside.
Spiritual sensibilities. So sort of, in some ways, they're people that culture.
Easily intercepted.
In some ways, they've gotten more.
Might be onto something with that ball.
What do you mean of like the fact that there's this merging?
Hugo Ekitike.
Like,
Can he deliver? And it's it! All square again. What a match this is turning out to be. So back underway. One goal apiece here. And passing it well. And a throw in forthcoming. And credit due, a good intervention. Ekitike. And the chance slips away.
Well, they stopped that move in its tracks. That was excellent defending.
Transformed into Wagan, Oracle, and Mary Ellison are kind of like people
Oh, this looks useful. Takes it on. The goalkeeper has outdone himself with that save. It's a short one.
And it's like, all these people, I remember some genuine kind of Christian believers who want to get Israel and bring on the Messianic age. Then there's like
spot on with that challenge.
It's like J.D. Vance or like everyone, depending on who you give them the money.
Nicely over the top.
So it's like, it's really hard.
Just like that, broken
It's
up.
like a spring victim for an amalgamation of people who are very different
Exploiting the wide area.
for supporting this kind of
Defending.
regime. I mean, just that I'm not saying they took a lot of
Gerrard.
The left had a very different
Plenty of support
amalgamation.
here.
What makes
Well,
things
nothing
like
comes of it. It
really
looked promising.
work Is that the people in them don't really have common interests with those causes.
What can he do
They
with
want
it
a common
now?
Cause. But it is weird that there are
And
people
very nicely
in the White
positioned
House
to
now
win it back.
Go to prayer services, like in the White House, in Congress, where they say the Jews killed Jesus.
Chouameni.
Let's do. We're going to bomb Iran so that the Messiah sees the fire.
On to Vitinha. Really good
Actually,
interception.
some people will say it just to get football. And these people who
Well, neither side wants ownership of the ball.
Well, both sides struggling to find rhythm here.
Hey, don't sort of let it so many.
Vitor Pereira.
Don't
Decisive pass. Excellent position taken up by Mbappe. And a goal to re-establish their advantage. Just look at the celebrations. And there it is, the half-time whistle. So back underway, the second half begins. Oh, it looked really promising for them. And this represents a great chance to score. Well, we certainly can't criticise his technique.
No, we can't. Many in the ground thought that was it, including me.
Vitor Ferreira. Kylian Mbappe. An effective challenge.
But it's great they got this it's perfect. But yeah, they were absolutely playing because their channels
and they keep it moving. Well, they took care of the situation defensively.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
Karim Adeyemi. And look at this! Well, not quite what he wanted to do with the pass. Karim Adeyemi. Oh, great defending.
It's not.
Well, the verdict's on Kylian Mbappe. In a word, positive.
Well, he's been brilliant. He finished his goals really well. He's shown a great awareness of how to find space, and his movement has caused him all sorts of problems.
And the shot. Oh, brilliant goalkeeping. Who can they pick out? Didn't quite go to plan. Alessandro Bastoni went in strongly to win the ball. Oh, he's left his marker for dead. Could be. And a goal. The equaliser. Superb entertainment. Well, back underway here. And they've split the 4 goals between them so far. Vitor Ferreira. Oh, yes, what a pass. Can they forge ahead? In it goes. But it will not stand.
Right, exactly. That whole thing combined with all the Epstein things,
because everyone's got their own thing. So it's like you're like, oh, I'm going to be all mad about that. I'm going to be mad about that. And then it's like, oh, Trump just signed it. So it's illegal. Joe Rogan. It's like Joe Rogan. I don't like Trump. I don't like Trump. And it's like
offside, Stuart.
Well, it looked close, didn't it? He certainly thought so. He's making that clear to the linesman now.
We shouldn't be living in a society where our dictator has so much power that they throw you a bone for you to win.
Vinicius Junior. A successful intervention, winning the ball back. Attack looks promising. Possibilities inside the box. Well, there's defensive solidity for you.
Yeah, he read that brilliantly, didn't he?
Even Gerrard has made the pass count. Oh, it's a really well-timed challenge. Michael Owen. Karim Adeyemi. Owen with it. A good and fair challenge.
About this, vaccine thing, and measles, to the whole sort of RFK, new age, get that working.
The referee has a decision to make.
Right. It's a small victory.
Right. It's like celebrating the death diet or something. Oh my God. Oh, can I pee and come back?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So that's the main thing I did. I got a pull-up bar. went from I could do 1 pull-up, now I'm like at 6.
That's great. Yeah, and then just try to like increase the amount you do, and then start increasing the weight. You don't have to do a lot of it. Just do 10. Do 10 reps of a weight that's like you can barely do.
Now a decent position. Adeyemi. High quality defending.
Yeah, I got that. Great is a good thing, a good daily thing that you can use.
Promising position, this.
Machines that only do 3 weights. Machines. Yeah, because it feels like I'm so much less likely to get machines there.
For the lead here. He'll be breathing a sigh of relief. Ball 1. Now counter-attacking possibilities.
Yeah. So what you do outside is the better.
And playing it through. Owen.
Yeah.
Oh, superb tackle.
Brilliant defending at such an important moment.
It's looking promising. Oh, could be. And that, a piece of goalkeeping you're going to see again and again and again.
It's like you just keep some weights around your house. Right? You know, like before work or whatever, just for 5 minutes, lift some weights, do some push-ups, something like that. Right? Just like throughout, like work it into your day.
And striking it on the volley, just no luck.
Well, good technique, but just wide of the target.
Suddenly they have possession.
Like Bruce Lee, so
Oh, chance! Oh, yes! It's gone in! And now a chance for them to revel in the moment.
So I didn't fat, so I didn't have to work fat to get muscle. I was just.
So they get the ball moving again, knowing that it truly is a race against the clock. Rafael Leao. Just 10 minutes to go. Well, as a play it goes, and that was in no small measure due to the effective press. They're getting it forward, but they need an equaliser. Well, didn't go to plan in the end.
Clarity, sleep gets better, recovery gets better, more energy.
It's a weighted pass. Well, it looked like it might lead to something very positive indeed, but a useful interception. Over the touchline for a throw-in. This could be it. Was an important piece of defending. Another goal from this corner would in all likelihood secure victory. He got to it fairly easily.
Well, these fans are right behind the team here. Can they get the equaliser, though?
Oh, not a great challenge at all there. And give the goalkeeper credit. How important was that?
Well, what drama late on. It's a big chance, but I have to say, that's a magnificent save.
Fine tackle there to prevent the chance. Well, taking into account all the stoppages, 3 minutes to be added on. And the counter-attack looks on. Jude Bellingham. A very effective challenge put in. Rafael Leao. Well, on the attack, hunting for a late equaliser here. And there it is, the full-time whistle here, and it's a victory for the visitors.
It was very competitive. Chances at both ends, but I feel they were the better team, and they deserved their victory.
I used to think we were rich because I lived in the suburbs. You know, People who like come to Rhodes, like Rhodes Scholar, like Rhodes Teacher, like Timmy Forbes. It's like, those are the people that, oh my God, they move to New York every weekend and things. Oh, it's a great place. Jeez.
Yeah. You should tell your Epstein story.
Yeah, well, it's the same people. I mean, what I was talking about before, the whole that Dawkins crap. Yeah, I went. After I went to that, I didn't, hang out with those people much anymore. I kind of disgraced myself, I think, and my agent by challenging the great Richard Dawkins on this atheism, being a weird ass spiritual psychedelic.
Didn't you? I was listening to you and Duncan talk about it. You brought a lesbian to an Epstein party.
Well,
that was a no-no.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, it wasn't. I didn't know it was an Epstein party. I mean, Epstein wasn't famous yet. This was the late '90s, but it turned out to be an Epstein party. But no, it was a party of supposed to be the scientists and tech pros. It was called a Millionaire Dinner or something, Millionaire Dinner Club. So it had a bunch of the people who were running the big tech companies at that time, and then the famous scientists. And this guy, this literary agent, invited me to go to it, and I was like, oh, this is like my chance to really meet the movers and shakers and all. And he said, you can have a +1, he said, but make it a really good +1, because this is make it count. And I figured, so I thought, who's the smartest person I know? Right? So there was this woman in Brooklyn who ran this literary web scene, the early web days, but she really smart, the kind of person who can finish your thought before you've even had it, one of those. And I said, okay, I'll bring her. So she said, sure, I'll go. So I go there, and the host of the thing, as soon as he sees her, he grabs me on I still feel it, pulls me aside. How dare you waste your +1 on an ugly lesbian? Actually, he said ugly dyke, I think. And
how did he know that she was lesbian? Was it obvious?
I guess, I don't know. Or maybe he knew her better than I, or knew her, whatever. Looked up her wiki. I had no idea. I didn't know. I was like, that's all dark.
Looked up her MySpace.
Yeah, I didn't think she was ugly, and I didn't know she was a lesbian. But still don't think so. But
You're supposed to bring a young, hot, big-breasted.
I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you were supposed to. I invited you, because I was East Village 20-something. I invited you so you'd raise the quotient of the party. And he goes, look. And at the tables, it's all middle-aged guys with these very, in some cases, too young girls that look like they could be seniors at Dalton, right?
Right.
And only like 10, 20 years later, I realized, oh, those dinners, were paid for by Epstein. These were Epstein-funded dinners. I mean, they were essentially dinners for scientists to, become part of culture and all that, and to meet potential funders. I mean, there was a lot of, it was the tech science funder world, and they're together. You can still go to conferences and find all those people together, but it was like, but I remember once that I had I'm an innocent, I had such a sick feeling in my stomach about what is this, and this is, should I be more cool? Should I have alone? Should I be going out with someone hot? Should I? And it's like I was kind of immersed in suddenly in the sort of wealthy, toxic male Epstein value system, and ended up just staying away. I just stayed away from them.
It's so funny. Like, you have to bring this accessory, this human accessory.
Right. but you realize how people fall into that. I mean, I should have been a more impressionable 28-year-old or whatever, but I was already kind of set in my ethical ways. But if you're a scientist and you're not getting laid and whatever, and then you're in this thing and there's millionaires and other scientists, and it creates a sort of a permission structure.
Yes, exactly.
Around doing icky stuff. It's like, oh, really? Look, there's no Chomsky over there. Right? And he's as lefty as it gets, and he's kind of saying, oh, so he's a friend of the thing.
Stephen Hawking's over there getting a lap dance.
Right, so it's like, I guess this is really, and I know the arguments they'll make. It's like, look, since ancient Greece, scientists and men, you do it, and these young women are getting something out of it. They're there, they're giving consent, they're going to get professional things, they're meeting you. How much better is it for them to be with you?
They were dragged here against their will.
Right. They're going to want to be with some 17-year-old who's going to come in 20 seconds. It's like, no, they're going to be taken in and cared for, and you appreciate them. And you can create a story around that kind of abuse.
Totally. Yeah.
And there, but for the grace of God, go we, right? Because anyone could be frustrated and tempted into that.
100%. Yeah, no, we had a guy on here a couple weeks ago who was telling us a story about how Jeffrey Epstein wanted to meet with him. And they ended up doing a Skype call, and he's basically looked him up. This was before, his first arrest in the early 2000s. And he was like, oh yeah, this guy's funding all of the smartest people I know. Why wouldn't I do a 20-minute Zoom call with him? So we did a 20-minute Skype call with the guy.
Yeah.
And he said Jeffrey Epstein was just sitting on the Skype call asking him to tell him stories about spoon bending and telepathy for 20 or 30 minutes.
Right.
He was fascinated with this paranormal
ESP
type stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that combined with all this other occult stuff that he was into and Ghislaine was into with we were talking about before, I don't know if you were recording, but we were talking about the Temple of Poseidon earlier. And her obsession with the lost city of Atlantis and all this stuff, and then combine that with the eugenics stuff that he was interested in.
Well, right. If you can connect it to something really old, then it doesn't feel like you're such a psychopathic aberration, right? Continuity of it. The other thing I was thinking when talking about these sort of Epstein interactions and stuff, what got me out of that alive, right? The reason I didn't fall into was because it was my spidey sense. Our spidey sense is what goes, ugh, something's off here, right? That's why we've got to stay connected to this, whatever this natural, shamanic, whatever this realm we're talking about. The more invested you are or distracted you are by all the social media metrics, if those are your gauges of good and bad, of right and wrong, then you lose that gut, spidey, ethical thing,
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, it's just like saying, oh, if you're completely a capitalist and nothing else, you're going to end up doing immoral things. Of course you are, because you're not going to feel the externalities of your actions. You're not going to feel the people you're killing or whatever. So it's that. I really feel like the way to survive and thrive in this unfolding landscape that's getting weirder and weirder and darker is to stay in touch with that, that the part that we're trying to crush, the sweet, innocent, vulnerable, fleshy, psychedelic, thoughtful thing. That's the strength.
Yes, exactly. Have you ever heard of Adam Curtis?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
His film Hypernormalization? That's what this whole moment reminds me of.
Yeah. You should get him on. I want to get him on my podcast.
We've talked to him before, but he's not interested in doing podcasts.
I know. But he's making 5 hours of movies every year. So.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible, the stuff that he does. And that whole hypernormalization thing seems to be more relevant today than ever. Because the way the media is, where it's you have access to all the deepest, darkest secrets. It's of the people that run the world now, but everyone knows they can't do anything about it. It's all we can do. You have two levels of it. You have like people like us who talk about it for a living, who like we can talk about it and
Right.
do everything we can to like boil our little pot of water in this ocean.
Right.
And then you have like people who have real jobs who have to go to work and to take care of whatever they have to take care of, and they don't really have the time and the bandwidth to pay attention to all this stuff, but they're kind of peripherally aware of it. They know it exists, and they know that like, oh my God, like this whole system is kind of not real. So I'm just going to keep pretending my way through. Like if I accept the fact that it's all a sham, how can I reconcile that with like getting up and going to work every day and being a part of this whole system?
Right.
You know, it's so
tricky.
It's like we're pretending.
Yeah. But then the object of the game is to start to dedicate as much of your time and energy toward the alternative ways of being. You know, whether it's just being nice to people in the street or not being on the phone or answering less email or changing jobs, doing favors. You know, we can't single-handedly create a new social economic order that doesn't reward sociopaths. Right? That can't happen overnight, but we can engage in behaviors and ways of moving through our lives that engender a more compassionate, local, friendly, human approach. That's what my podcast, Team Human. It's like to say being human's a team sport. Let's act like that. What would that look like?
Yeah, 100%.
Behavioral. It's behavioral. It's like it starts really easy. It's like first thing I would tell people is and it works for the Christian too. Remember the Sabbath. Maybe start that way. Take one day a week and unplug from these systems. Yeah. Don't even look at a screen. One day, from Friday night to Saturday night, don't look at a screen. Meet people, touch people, have sex, play games. One day. And that's enough to recalibrate your system. When you go back on Saturday night at sundown to the device, it's like, oh, this is...
Yeah.
We're an all-in-one platform that gives you everything you need to capture, nurture, and close leads like never before. In High Level, you'll find features like a full CRM, funnel, website, course, marketing automation, and email builders, a consolidated email, SMS, WhatsApp, and social chat stream, reputation management, social media posting, and so much more. And the best part is, High Level is fully white labeled, which means you can brand the platform and mobile app with your logo and company colors, then resell it to your customers for a monthly subscription that goes straight into your agency's bank account. The powerful combination of software plus your service and expertise will drive your customers' retention and your profits through the stratosphere. Sign up for a 14-day free trial today.
This is doing something.
Yeah, it's like an alternate reality.
Yeah.
It's an alternate reality.
It's the simulation.
It
People always keep
is
saying, are we living in a simulation? No, we are. No, we made a simulation.
Right.
We weren't living in a simulation. We are now.
Yeah.